Alright guys, we're back up here. It's been a drought over here in eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina. We hadn't got rain in probably at least 3 weeks. All my yards have dried up. I was only doing some 2-weekers, so I made it up here to the cornfield. There was no corn up here 2 days ago, and it's already that tall. I don't know, whenever we come up here in the night, there's a pretty good amount of dew, so I think that has been helping this corn out a lot, because if it wasn't for that, I definitely don't think it would have come up and been this big and look this good. So I mean, there's a few places that planter skipped, like this right here. I mean, I think some of it might be still coming up in there, but I mean, that's a pretty big skip right there. I'm gonna buy me some new seed meters whenever I get the chance, and hopefully that'll fix it. But I mean, all these rows are looking good. Alright, that's how much we've got in both of them. I'm gonna close them up and start planting. Alrighty, we're back up here in Carolina. I'm heading over to the bean patch right now and the maters. I'm gonna show y'all what we did yesterday, and then I'm gonna start putting some fence up. I gotta put some wove wire up. I thought that I had enough, but I don't have near close to enough. But I'll show y'all what we did last night, and then we'll start putting fence up. Well, here are the greasy beans that we hoed yesterday. They're all looking really good, except for where the deers eat them. Here's the maters that we got strung up. We did both these two strands right here, all the way out through there. Some of them ain't touching, like this one right here. It's not growing all the way up through them yet, but I went ahead just because most of them are growing through. I'm gonna probably run another one on those maters over there, because they're starting to grow out of the second strand over there. But I wanted y'all to see where we hoed these beans yesterday and got the weeds out of them. I wanted y'all to see a little bit better where them deer's been eating on them. They've put a hurting on some of them. I don't know why, but they really like where the greasies meet the turkey craws. I guess they like a variety. But they have plumb eat these beans up. At least we've got a few though. Like right here, I mean, they've destroyed them. Hopefully they'll come back and quit messing with them once I get this fence in. Alrighty, I guess this spray's worked. It's killed those weeds right there, and it usually works on the grass a little bit later than the weeds. So it's already starting on the grass right there. So I think we've done good on our spray job. We've got a few stalks in our first planting of sweet corn that's starting to tassel, like this one here. You can see it starting to form. I'll find a little earlier one for you. Right here's the early stage of tasseling. There's a few more in here just like this. Right here's another good one, a really good one. But yeah, we'll have sweet corn here before long. I'd say the second week of August I'll be picking some. Right here's another one that's starting to tassel. This sweet corn variety, it's shorter than the one I planted last year. This one, the tallest ones are about nipple high, and the shorter ones are about waist high. So I don't know if that's part of the genetics or it just makes it easier to pick. I'm not sure. But I know it's Roundup ready, and that's made it a whole lot easier to walk through and look at and stuff. I read on the bag that it was supposedly worm resistant, so I'm sure that there will be some worms in here, but hopefully we don't have as bad of a corn worm problem as we did last year, because they were pretty bad. There's another tassel, but like I said, they're about nipple high. So I guess that'll be better on an early morning whenever you're picking in here, or if it's raining and the dew or the rain's all over these sweet corn stalks. I guess it won't get on to you as bad, but I guess we'll see whenever we start picking about the second week of August. Next year I hope to be a little more prepared whenever we're planting. I wish I would have got my sweet corn and stuff out a little bit earlier. I think that most of the farmers around me have already got their first picking of sweet corn, so I'm behind the game a little bit. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Last year I still sold out, and I planted a little bit later than this, so who knows. I'm hoping to get some of it off whenever I'm up there at the corn maze. I'm hoping to get some of the sweet corn and the beans and the maters off up there and be able to sell them. Don't know how long the maters and stuff's gonna last. They'll probably die before then, but who knows. I'd about say that I'll have some sweet corn though to sell up there, and that was kind of the plan. That's why I waited to plant this last patch of sweet corn so late, just to try to see if I could have some during October whenever this corn maze was going. But we'll see what happens in about October. Well, it's about dark. I wanted to show y'all what I've got done. We got this fence. We got it all up. Them beans will be climbing it shortly. They're getting pretty tall. If the deer will stay off of them, they should be climbing it here by the end of next week. The boys that I talked to, Greg and Joe, they told me that if I grow these things good, this whole thing will look like a big hedge. So I'll be picking green beans off of it, and hopefully it'll be easy to pick once it gets up to here. This down here at the bottom, it'll be a little harder just because you got to bend over, but hey, that's just part of farming. And then right here, I've got 2 different strings, and then I'm gonna run vertical strings for each bean plant. Like this bean plant will get its own vertical string all the way up to the top of the fence post, and then it's all the way down. Right here's where the beans separate. This side's greases now, so the middle of both is gonna be string. And then I'm not sure if I'm gonna do one more small section right here of string, or if I'm gonna just do the rest of this in fence. Alrighty guys, here are beans. They are looking amazing. There's our tomatoes. Right here's the insect damage that I was talking about. I don't see any insects on the bottom of the leaves anywhere. I don't see any on the top, so hopefully that 7 did the job last night. There's some flowers right here that's starting to flower up, and on a few of them there are starting to form little beans. It's crazy to watch all this stuff grow and watch how it all changes. But I mean, these beans have already overtook. These are probably 6 foot, they're 7 foot fence posts, but they're about 6 foot high, and almost all of the beans are growing to the top of it already, and I'm just pushing it to the right or the left. I'm wrapping the bean around it, the vine, and it's just gonna take off, and this one's gonna take off this way, and hopefully it'll all mesh together and we'll just have a big hedge of green beans pretty much. There's one string down and you can already tell how much of a difference there is. Well, take this, cut them strands off. It looks good as new. Alrighty, we've got them all three in there. And that post is as good as new. Time to keep stringing. We got them all strung up. There's the last row. It's about halfway up on the new growth and the old growth. So that's what Wishwell Farms told us to do. I didn't do that at first. I wish I would have, because I don't think I'd have had as many stragglers here to pull inside, but everything looks a whole lot better. I had stuff falling out in the dang row and everything else before, but the problem is these short posts. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably do what I did in this video and tie a big one to the short one and just not drive it in as far. But everything is looking really good. I don't know what it is about these Mr. Stripies over here on the right, but they're outgrowing these Cherokee Purples, and Cherokee Purples are about to put on maters. We're about to start picking off of them. I'm very happy with everything. I'm gonna get everything sprayed now, get all the stragglers picked up, and I'd say it's time to go home.